Hello, this is Graham speaking. I'd like to tell you a little bit about equine dentistry and share some of the interesting cases that I recently came across. This slide shows a horse that had to be physically restrained so he would tolerate the dental work. It's interesting to think that these horse owners from many years ago realized the benefits of offering a horse dental care. So here I am floating a 2-year-old Friesian's teeth. This is the first time that this horse had ever received any form of dental care. He was very tolerant to the work which was offered, and hopefully the next time that I visit him, he'll remember me and remember it was a positive experience and that he benefited from the work and felt a lot more comfortable after I was finished. It's also interesting to note that in this slide I'm doing dentistry similar to the previous two slides, and that's the way that dentistry was done and has been done for thousands of years, reduction of sharp enamel points with hand instrumentation. Now I would like to give you a brief overview of what is actually happening and why dentistry needs to be done. Take a look at the arcades on the maxilla on the left hand side and compare it to the mandible on the right hand side. You will notice that the upper arcades, the maxillary, are wider than the mandibular, and this makes it possible for the sharp enamel points to be formed on the outside of the uppers and inside of the lowers. A horse's tooth also erupts at 2 to 3 millimeters a year, so there's a lot of movement happening. This horse had been biting his tongue with his canine teeth. This is another horse with a similar issue. And just above that pointer you can see an ulcer in the cheek from the sharp enamel points. Here's two more ulcers from these sharp points, razor sharp. These were actually a zebra's teeth, and they're in very good condition. The secret to this is a zebra lives a natural lifestyle. The domesticated horse should also be grazing and browsing for 16 to 18 hours a day. With dentistry, prevention is better than cure. Minor issues become major issues over time. What has happened in this picture is the upper teeth have received too much wear. If you compare how much life is left in the upper teeth to the lower lowers still have a lot more tooth left. And that's because there's been uneven wear over many years. So this is quite an interesting slide. What we have happening here is this lower tooth is protuberant. It's just kept on erupting, and that's because the upper tooth is absent, and this lower tooth now is filling the space where the upper tooth should be. If you look in the palate there, you'll see there's actually a hole. So here I have my mirror inside the horse's mouth, and you can see this hole. There's a communication between the oral cavity and the rostral maxillary sinus. The first time that I visit a horse, I prefer to set a foundation for the future. I aim for a 3-point balance between the incisors, cheek teeth, and temporal mandibular joints. This method allows me to perform precise visual dentistry. I know where my instrument is throughout the entire procedure. The horse is also able to achieve a positive, stress-free and humane experience. Two fractured teeth can clearly be seen in this radiograph. The instruments that I use are very similar to what human dentists use, just much bigger. Whatever issues are happening in the mouth are then reflected throughout the rest of the body. If there's restrictions in movement, AP movements, forwards and backwards, then you can have restrictions in the TMJ, the pole, the neck, the back, and the farrier can even pick up problems which are directly related to dental issues and restricted movements. For a dressage horse, to be ridden in the correct outline and collected, this horse also requires the correct movement. I would like you to do a quick experiment. Look at your toes and then raise your head, look as if there were stars in the sky, and you'll feel how your jaw, your mandible, moves forwards and backwards. Quite often, if there are major dental issues, the horse isn't going to stand around without the use of sedation and allow you to work on these issues, because it is sore and it is hurting. It's a problem place in the mouth. Here we have another protuberant tooth, and what had happened here was this high tooth was now ramming in between the two fractured pieces of the upper tooth. And yeah, you can only imagine how painful this was for this poor horse. For best results to be achieved, a team of skilled and qualified professionals is required. In these cases, dentistry was accompanied with nutritional advice. Any additional factors which could have led to weight loss or loss of condition were then considered and dealt with accordingly by the attending veterinarian. Each year I travel overseas and attend equine dentistry related conferences. I also spend time with veterinarians who have and run practices limited to equine dentistry, and this enables me to have my work assessed and stay abreast of the latest developments in the field. I want to be able to offer horses the very best that I can. Thank you very much for taking a look at this video. I do hope that you have found it helpful. Please feel free to share it with your friends.